Reforma migratoria. Un aliado. Abogado Borja. 718 La Migra. 718-526-4472.
Good day to all. Today, I'm briefly going to discuss the development of the proposal of the immigration reform, which represents a light of hope for the 11 million undocumented immigrants in the United States. Nonetheless, this proposal doesn't just awaken the hope in millions of undocumented immigrants that reside in the country, but is also synonymous to change, since it plans the most intelligent fulfillment of the law, a path to gaining citizenship and improvement in the legal immigration system. Now, knowing this, I'm going to focus on the development that the proposal has had in the past few months. I will begin by mentioning its birth on Tuesday, January 29th, when President Obama made public his support for an integral reform in the United States immigration system by affirming that now is the moment to replace the old system. In addition, Obama said that if Congress isn't willing to advance, he would present his own proposal for law and would insist that it be voted on immediately. The principles that the president proposes are clear and simple. The first principle focuses on the adherence of the law, on fortifying the border and applying the law against employers who hire undocumented workers. The second principle tells us about focusing on the 11 million undocumented immigrants already in the country. The president is convinced that they should earn their path to citizenship. The third principle discusses modifying the legal immigration system to the 21st century, since the current system does not reflect the reality of our time. After this, in April of 2013, the bipartisan Gang of 8 of U.S. senators introduced a much anticipated project for immigration reform, the Border Security, Economic Opportunity, and Immigration Modernization Act of 2013. The Act presents the following points. 1. Border security. This Act sets the goal of monitoring 100% of the border between the United States and Mexico, as well as catching and deporting an expected 9 out of 10 individuals who succeed in crossing the border illegally. For this purpose, the Act sets aside $4.5 billion towards border security and estimates the hiring of 3,500 additional officials. 2. The citizenship process. This is the most important point, being that approximately 11 million people that reside in the United States without documents would be able to obtain registered provisional immigrant RPI status 6 months after the enactment of the bill, as long as they fulfill the following requirements: that they've been present in the United States on or before December 31st, 2001, and have maintained continuous presence since then, that they have not been convicted of a serious crime or 3 minor offenses, that they pay a fine of $500. Individuals with the RPI status can work and travel within the United States, but may not receive any federal loans. Individuals that have been deported for reasons other than criminal ones can solicit re-entering the United States with RPI status if they have a spouse or child who is a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident brought into the United States as children. After 10 years of RPI status, the individual can apply for a green card that will guarantee lawful permanent residence if their taxes are up to date and they pay a fine of $1,000, have maintained continuous presence in the United States, and have fulfilled labor requirements and learned or are learning English. Also, border objectives and the processing of those awaiting immigration through the legal system up to date of the enactment would have been fulfilled. The individuals who were brought to the United States when they were minors would be able to obtain green cards in the 5 years and U.S. citizenship immediately thereafter. 3. Highly qualified workers. This point would increase the limit of H-1B visas for workers of highly qualified from 65,000 to 110,000 annually, with 25,000 more reserved for individuals with advanced degrees in science, technology, engineering, or mathematics from a United States educational institution. 4, less qualified workers. This point would bring about the creation of a new W visa, which would permit the entry of about 200,000 low-skilled workers into the country to fill in jobs in the construction industry, health services, and hospitality, among others. 5, family immigration. This would mean that under the current law, U.S. citizens can sponsor spouses, children, and siblings to come to the United States with limits in certain categories. The immigration reform will prohibit that U.S. citizens sponsor their siblings and married children with a limited place at 31 years of age. 6, employment verification. This point proposes that within 4 years, all employers would have to use E-Verify, a program for electronic identity verification. After the Border Security, Economic Opportunity and Immigration Modernization Act of 2013 was presented on May 23, 2013 to the Senate Judiciary Committee, it was approved with 13 votes in favor and 5 votes against. And now recently, on June 11th, 2013, the proposal for immigration reform succeeded in the key voting in the United States Senate after gaining 82 votes in favor and 15 against in the first voting session, which serves to end debates and avoid the blocking of legislation. Finally, it's important to remember that 11 million undocumented immigrants have in resolving their legal status in the United States. Hope still exists, and experts are certain that immigration reform will become a reality. I hope that this information has been useful, and if you have any doubts or concerns regarding this matter, please contact us at 718-LA-MIGRA, which is 718-526-4472. It would be our pleasure to help and answer your questions. Have a great day. Thank you.
Reforma migratoria. Un aliado. Abogado Borja. 718 La Migra. 718-526-4472.